Hello and welcome to today's Stock Watch. So two companies that I want to talk about today are AT&T and Illumina. So AT&T are currently pressing ahead to auction off the broadcast satellite services provider DirecTV. In July 2015, the company purchased DirecTV for $48.5 billion. They then announced plans to converge its existing home internet brands with DirecTV to create AT&T Entertainment. However, with the explosion and popularity of streaming services over the past few years, DirecTV is supposedly hemorrhaging customers, making the company no longer viable. Roll on 5 years and with a new CEO and as part of extensive cost-cutting moves due to the pandemic, AT&T now want to auction off DirecTV as previously mentioned, and the early reports are they will have a hard time recouping what they paid for it, as the biggest offer they've had is $15 billion, which is over a third less than what they initially paid for it. Another company that I want to look at is Illumina. There has been a slight resurgence of the stock price in recent days. However, the share price fell by 22% in September, which brought prices back to pre-pandemic levels. This all started as rumors swirled of a potential buyout of Grail Incorporated, a healthcare company specializing in the early detection of cancer signals in the blood. However, the technology still needs more testing to be commercially viable, and Grail may have to incur heavy capital expenditure, implying a significant cash drain for Illumina moving forward. So the first chart I want to look at today is the AT&T. So we've had the pandemic levels here, and then the recovery hasn't really gone according to plan. So I'm just going to put a Fibonacci in from the yearly highs down to the yearly lows. And what I can see, I'll just zoom in so for a better perspective, is that we're currently seeing a bit of a resistance at the 23.6 level. I've seen a slight divergence on the momentum indicator, which would suggest that prices will probably fall lower rather than climb back up to the previous highs that we saw roughly around the middle of June. This was at $33. So what I'll be looking at when the session opens and for the rest of the week is if it can bypass this particular confluence level of the baseline of the Ichimoku indicator and the $29 region, then we can see further upside towards the $30 region. However, a bias is on the downside at the moment due to the fundamental news and the company's well-being. So we're looking to see that it's going to test roughly around the lower 28 to 27 region. So this is what I'll be looking at for the rest of the week. And moving on to Illumina now, I just want to take a Fibo from the yearly low to the highs. And as I can see here, this is where the drop happened in September, where it lost quite a lot of its market share. We're seeing a bit of a divergence, a hidden bearish divergence on the momentum indicator, which could see prices being tested at the 38.2 and falling further down towards the 61.8. So if I just zoom in a bit more, so it's a bit more clearer. So I'll be looking when the market opens, if again it can bypass this particular level, if we can recap gains that it lost in September. It'll be a bit of a tough show, but if it can go above the 340 area, I fully expect it to keep pushing higher. However, if it does find some resistance, then we could see it drop to previous lows down to $260. But it will first have to pass this level of the convergence line of the Ichimoku indicator at $295 and then push further down to $275 as we go into the trading week. So these are the things that I'll be looking at. So that's it for the Stock Watch today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments, feel free to post them and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great trading day ahead. Bye for now.